Morning. Thanks for joining us for the News 12 FastCast. I'm Nick Proto. 7:30 here on our Wednesday morning. Two counties are debating what they should do with a statewide cap on property taxes. They could enforce it or opt out. Earlier in the week, we heard from Augusta's city administrator that commissioners plan to meet today to talk about future public hearings. She told us yesterday we should know those dates soon. The Richmond County school system plans to opt out and held their first meeting for the public yesterday. House Bill 581 is meant to change how local governments and school boards look at property taxes with your homestead exemption. Lawmakers drafted this with the purpose of putting a cap on how much property taxes could go up each year, trying to prevent spikes. It's a new system meant to ease the burden on people with fixed incomes or salaries that can't keep up with growing market values.
I think it'd be difficult to determine long-term how many people will necessarily benefit, but I think it is definitely geared towards property owners who own and live in their properties for a long time.
All local governments and school boards have until March 1st to decide if they will opt in or opt out. And if they do opt out, it'll go to the state for approval. Now, if you missed yesterday's hearing with the school system, your next opportunities in Richmond County are January 22nd at 3:30, January 27th at 6 p.m. The Columbia County Board of Commissioners says they intend to opt out of the exemption. The law still requires public hearings so they can get your thoughts before that March 1st deadline. Those will be held inside the Evans Government Center Auditorium on Ronald Reagan Drive. The first one, Tuesday at 6 p.m. The second one is January 28th at 10 a.m. The final one is going to be February 4th at 6 p.m. During the Columbia County Board of Education meeting last night, leaders decided to schedule public meetings to talk about that homestead exemption. If it's passed, school leaders say they may have to raise the millage rate. You can go to those hearings on January 27th at 8 a.m., January 28th at 6 p.m., and February 4th at 6 p.m. Those meetings will be in the Board of Education building on Hereford Farm Road. Happening now, the search continues for a second Grovetown shooting suspect after the recent arrest of one. Overnight, Grovetown police took to Facebook saying an arrest was made after last night's shooting. That happened at the Joyner Crossing Apartments just after 5 o'clock, sending one man to the hospital. The first suspect is there on your screen, 20-year-old Isaiah Bautista. Grovetown police say they found him in Augusta near Windsor Spring Road and Meadowbrook Drive. Officials say he was in the same car he left the scene in. Police say Bautista had a gun on him with multiple outstanding felony warrants through Richmond County and Reedsville, Georgia. He's now at the Charles B. Webster Detention Center on those outstanding warrants. Grovetown police say more warrants will be secured for the apartment shooting. The investigation continues to search for that second suspect in Grovetown. If you have any information, call the Grovetown Police Department. An arrest has been made in a Richmond County homicide case. 40-year-old Joshua Wadley faces murder and weapons charges in the death of 38-year-old Sion Ulmer on Warren Street. Wadley was arrested Monday. Officials say Ulmer was found shot outside a home on Warren Street last July. They say he was pronounced dead on the scene. A woman faces an arson charge after a deadly Aiken house fire. She's on your screen now. Latrina Hollingsworth. Arrest warrants say she purposely set fire to a table inside a home, which caused the entire building to burst into flames Sunday night. Officials say 23-year-old Markel Howard died in the fire after not being able to get out. Hollingsworth is charged with first-degree arson. No word yet on how many kids the Richmond County Sheriff's Office is looking for as they investigate a robbery. The agency says deputies went to Clark Street last night in reference to a shooting and found a man with a head injury. Witnesses told deputies the man tried to break up a fight between 5 to 8 different kids when they saw him fall to the ground. Witnesses say they also saw a gun but never heard any shots. Authorities say the group went through the victim's pockets and took some of his things before they left. An older woman who went missing in Batesburg has been found dead. Batesburg-Leesville police say 82-year-old Edwinton Henderson was last seen on Humphrey Street Monday night. There's no word on where they found her. The department says they'll work with SLED and the Saluda County Sheriff's Office in that investigation. Officers say there are no obvious signs of foul play. South Carolinians who need disaster unemployment assistance after Hurricane Helene now have more time to apply. Governor McMaster and the SC Department of Employment and Workforce extended the deadline to January 28th, the same deadline for FEMA assistance in the state. The DUA program provides funds to people who became unemployed because of the storm starting September 25th. Visit dew.sc.gov to apply on the My Benefits portal. If you need help, call 1-866-831-1724. All of our local counties are eligible. Staying with storm recovery efforts, President Biden approved federal disaster assistance for people that took a hit from the November storms and flooding. This is drone video showing just how bad it was in Orangeburg County. The aid is available to state, tribal, and eligible local governments in South Carolina. It's also available to certain private nonprofit organizations on a cost-sharing basis for emergency work, plus the repair or replacement of facilities damaged by flooding in Bamberg and Orangeburg counties. An opening date is in sight for a long-awaited grocery store. You're taking a look at Fresh Take on Washington Road. It's inside the Whole Foods store near Bonefish Grill. The store plans to open next Monday and have a grand opening celebration at the end of the month. It'll repeatedly have plenty of options to explore besides just groceries. You may find a takeout section, catering options, a beer and wine bar with small bites, sushi bar, coffee bar, and more. Officials say the store will focus on the customer experience, meaning there's going to be space for people to hang out. That includes plans for a 2-story indoor-outdoor seating area with balconies. If you live in the Clearwater area, officials say you need to boil your water before cooking or drinking it. On your screen is a list of all the streets and roads impacted. Not going to go through them all, but you can see them right there on your screen. We'll let you know when you can start back using the water as normal. That's going to do it for the news side of things this morning. Now let's send it over to First Alert meteorologist Tim Strong as we are checking in on another very cold start to our morning.
That's right. We do finally get a little peek of that sunshine coming up here. Kind of a nice morning, although showing a little scattered cloud cover and temperatures that have been able to drop down below that freezing mark within the last hour. Feels even colder with that wind. 5 to 6, 24 degrees is our wind chill value. So yes, we do have a very chilly start in the range of temperatures. We have some upper 30s from around the Thurman Dam down to Sylvania and Millen at 38. In between it all, the near freezing temperatures have set up and held. Waynesboro 31, 35, 36, Thompson and Evans. Say it's a nice day. Just what cloud cover we do have this morning may stick around on and off through the day. Middle 50s coming in, so temperatures still a little bit cooler than average, but our pattern is expected to move a little bit more into that seasonal outlook as we head toward the end of the week. So we've got a dry, sunny, but breezy planner tomorrow. 58s to post on Friday. We'll have rain in for the weekend. Your setup is looking very wet on Saturday and Sunday, just a few showers possible. But notice what happens after Sunday. It's a big temp drop. Boy, we have some cold Arctic air coming in. Our mornings are going to go back into the lower and mid 20s, and highs manage to stay in the mid 30s the entire day. And we will be watching what's going to be setting up another winter weather scenario for a lot of the southeast with the cold air coming in by the middle of next week. Have a great day, everybody.